I'm Bob Hallmark in Smith County today for a special reason and to talk about a special group of people, particularly special kids. Now, we have seen it many, many times before, the kids that have Down syndrome. And there's an effort every October, usually, to do a Down syndrome walk to raise money that actually goes towards efforts to help the parents and help the kids, learning opportunities, things of that nature. But there is a group here in East Texas that you probably don't know about that does year-long efforts in this kind of thing. And we're going to meet one of the board members right now. The group is called Abigail's Guardians. And joining us now is one of those board members. This is Amanda Jennings. And Amanda, let's talk about Abigail first. People are going to see the picture there. Who is Abigail?
So Abigail's our daughter, and she is 2.5 years old, and she is so special to us. She was a surprise for us, and we were very lucky and blessed that God chose us to be her parents.
You'll see the image now of Abigail. She's wearing an astronaut suit.
She is wearing an astronaut suit. So this year, our theme for the walk is Out of This World. And Abigail was chosen as the ambassador for this year. And so her picture in the astronaut suit is going to be what we use for our posters and things along those lines.
Okay, so essentially she is the poster child.
She is the poster child, yes.
Okay. Now, when was Abigail's Guardians formed?
So Abigail's Guardians was formed as our group for the Down Syndrome Walk this year. We kind of call it the Abigail's Guardians of the Galaxy. And so everybody who's an Abigail Guardian, they kind of watch over Abigail. They take pride in, helping her learn along the way, whether it's their grandparents or whoever they are. They're always looking out for her and always making sure they have her best interests and they can teach her something along the way.
Now, we want to be specific here and say this is not an organization that just does work for a one-time event. This is something that you do year-round now. Is that right?
Yes, we raise money year-round for the East Texas Down Syndrome Walk, and this money goes towards the kids, whether they need, maybe they need help to go to a camp during the summer, or maybe their family needs some help with maybe some bills or something along those lines. It also helps with anybody who gets a diagnosis of a child with Down syndrome. We do baskets for those families, and we send them a basket, and we always choose 5 families to go to the East Texas, or not the Down Syndrome Conference every year. And so that money goes towards some of that as well.
Now, one of the things that we did want to talk about is the people say this quite often that do have Down syndrome children. It's challenging, but very rewarding as well. And I'm guessing that's part of what your mission is to say this is not laborious. This is something that can be very fulfilling for people.
It is, yeah. Down syndrome doesn't define who they are. People with Down syndrome are just like anybody else. They can have jobs, they can go to college, they can do anything they really set their mind to. And so that's what we try to promote within these organizations, and that's what we try to teach the community. And so it's always great to have the community involvement with these walks, because it allows them to see what all these kids and adults are capable of.
Now, obviously, the walk is the big thing. It's the one thing that everybody recognizes. They see it every October. They recognize the cause, and it's usually a very big production, across the country. However, we don't want people to lose the sight of the fact that you do so much more than just doing that walk. And that's really what you like to encourage people to help with, is if they've never really known much about organizations like yourself, you would like them to support your organization because of the work you do.
Correct, yeah. I mean, we have events throughout the year for the individuals with Down syndrome. And so it's not just this walk that we're trying to raise money for, it's to also help promote these events throughout the year. And so this is just our biggest fundraiser for that.
On a personal level, you've had the opportunity, and I know a lot of the folks that are involved with the Down syndrome walk, a lot of them do have children and some, adult children that have Down syndrome. on a personal level, is this something that you feel like, people should really be more educated about this? Because there was a time, sadly, when children like this were simply thought to be those who could not be helped from what they were. And I'm guessing you want to change that perception.
We do, yeah. I mean, 50 years ago, it was a burden to have a child with special needs or Down syndrome or anything along those lines. And I think through the years, people have learned that these kids and adults and families, they're just like everybody else. You know, they can, again, have jobs and they can live normal lives. And so that's one thing that we try to make sure that everybody knows, because they're not a burden. They're very special. They're a blessing. Abigail's one of the kindest and sweetest people you'll ever meet in your life. She loves to blow kisses and she loves to give hugs. So she's very much a blessing to us and all those who know her.
You mentioned that, and that's one of the things that's a prevailing theme when you go to any event like this, is that you see that there's an inherent innocence in these kids. And we just talked about it. Sadly, it's something that we lose as we grow up, but they have it their whole lives.
They do have it their whole lives. You know, it's amazing the kindness and the love that they have for others. And you will see that throughout their lives. You know, it's not something that they get to be 18 or 16 and they start to get the teenage attitude. They do get attitudes, and we see that with Abigail too. But, you know, she's very much innocent. She's very much, you know, just a loving and caring child at the same time.
Okay. Now, if folks, again, it is called Abigail's Guardians, and if folks would like to support you, how can they do that?
You can go online to our Down Syndrome Walk page, and you can look for Abigail's Guardians, and you can support there. Also, for the walk, we're looking for any kind of sponsors or vendors that want to come out and set up a booth and just have games for these kids, or put tattoos on them, or whatever they're looking for. And we're also looking for volunteers. So,
as I refresh my memory, is the walk October 14th? Is that what it is?
October 14th, yes, sir.
All right, so that's the Down Syndrome Support Walk will be October 14th, and I know a number of different cities will be holding this as well. You obviously would like to encourage people to participate.
Yes, ours is at Central Baptist Church this year, and we're looking for volunteers or sponsors or any kind of vendors that would like to come and set up a table.
Okay. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate
Thank
it. All right, and we'll have much more on this story tonight on KLTV 7 News. For KLTV Web Extra, I'm Bob Hallmark.